Alrighty, let's do this. I didn't check the world record before this, but I'm fairly confident I'll be able to get it first try, to be honest. There's only been one attempt on it so far, so shouldn't be too difficult. Hello, Velex. No, that's a wide line. Fine. Not too bothered about dropping individual tents here and there. Just want to get a proper time set. Nope, nope, oh. Hit these walls. There's so much time you can save if you just be brave on these corners, but there's such a high probability of being trapped on them. It's really not worth it. Do that. Okay, so there's cutscenes after the thing that I've got to skip through. Gotcha. And if I remember correctly, the timing on this stops after I return to the main menu on the final event. I mean, I should know this, I wrote the rules, but that's what I'm going to be going with, at least. Fairly sure that's what I wrote. Oh no. Good. No? Too early then? I wonder if you could preload the first cutscene of this. I'll let you do with Grand Prix. Probably best to try that out next time, actually. For what was next? Forgotten Legs, I think. There's definitely some rubber banding of some sort going on with the opponents. They're a lot harder to beat than regular story mode and Grand Prix stuff. But I can't remember ever struggling with them at all, even when the DLC first came out over 3 years ago. So they've got to be modifying their own speed somehow. Because, I mean, even during the race on Precipice, he ended up about 2 seconds behind me overall. And I've definitely improved a lot in the last 3 years, so if that were the case, he was moving at that speed when DLC first came out, I wouldn't have beaten him. So there's some sort of rubber banding going on. And I wonder if that will eventually play into some sort of strategy being developed for the duels. Some certain pace you've got to stick to for the optimal opponent pace to make the counter go up as fast as it can. Be very tricky to figure out, but might happen. Of course, we'd need a bunch of other players to do that first, so bunch of tests ran. Determine what that is and compare against. Keep smashing against that wall. And avoid breaking the car on these walls now. That's better. Not good, but better. Okay, final event now. Up 3 laps of causeway, about a minute. Was it records like a minute 6 or something? Minute 8. Gonna be a 15-minute something at the end of this. Oh dear. Messed that a little bit, but it's fine. Yeah, so both records are minute 6 something. Don't drive into walls in a straight line. Generally helpful advice. Ooh, oh no. My game froze, is still freezing. Oh dear. Seem to have got through there unscathed at least. Somehow. Just remember to wait to get back to the main menu to end the run. still be able to use keyboard because Ventus doesn't appear at all in Twilight Rivals for some reason. There's what, 5 C-class? 6 C-class cars and 10 events, and Ventus doesn't appear in any of them. Why not? Anyways. Well, 6 C-class cars that aren't DLC at least, but you know what I mean. 6 cars they could have chosen from, and they only used 5. I think it's the same for A-class actually. Every car apart from Impulse gets used. Wait no, there's 5 cars, 5 events for A-class. How many cars could they have chosen from? I know Chrono and Gladio are definitely there, and Raptor. Then there's the Preno, Impulse, 70 Super? I think 70 Super appears in it. Soprano I don't think is in, Impulse definitely isn't. So I think Chrono might be repeated, or Gladio, one of the two. Some odd decisions, certainly. Oh, I forgot to test preloading, didn't I? Again. Right, for Brooke, definitely I'll test preloading. Because that's at least a second that I could save. So we'll test that out for Brooke's Grand Prix. Oh, this is Ghost Battle. Alright. Hello, Biz. No, I've missed the wall. I know how to drive Gecko, I swear. Gecko doesn't take the shortcut here, but we do get a sick drift instead. If I get it right. I didn't get it right. You meant to just dip the front wheel into the snowbank there and get a mega drift angle. But I failed. Does this automatically win? It does. There is a time attack event on one of the upcoming stories. I'll have to be wary of. Can't remember which one it is. Why are we doing a race against Katana? It doesn't make any sense. What was the purpose of this? The cutscene probably describes it. Something like, here's how you drive this track, here's how it's done. But why not just face off against Lex instead? It's just weird. Oh no, oh no. Made it through, it's fine. Ooh, okay, that's going to be interesting to deal with. Quite how I didn't run out of a block timer on the way down there, I have no idea. It was very slow. Better, definitely. It's not going to be world record pace, but 27.51? Isn't that record like a 27.11 or something like that? Or is it 26.11? Messy. Oh no. That, yeah, definitely not getting world record time on this lap. I've got to do this combo again, properly. So much fun. didn't crash there? Surprising. No. Messed that up. Is he turning his headlights on and off in the background? Oh no. I was caught unawares there. Got distracted. It was only about half a second at least, so nothing too bad. Yeah, without that crash at the end, you can definitely do 12-minute standing start. That cannot be the right line to drive. It seems so wide. No. Just about made that. Still went wide though. And I've messed that up. It's fine. Let's try this out. That's too slow. I think something like that is the proper way to do it, but I grinded too much at the start. $13.49. That's pretty good. Right. Let's do this. God, that's so loud. Right in my ear. Such a difficult combo this. Oh no. Just got to try and channel my inner waffle attack. Which is a strange sentence to say out of context. And get to this as unscathed as possible. Which doesn't include doing that, funnily enough. That and no, oh, I pressed down and it didn't recognize it. Right, we've got to restart. Let's make sure the menu recognizes my inputs before I press accept. That's wide. At least I get a chance at redeeming myself on that chicane, not just crashing. Weirdly, there doesn't seem to be any significant rubber banding on this duel compared to the other two that we've had. Because I'm just getting maximum score gain at all times, it's not slowing down at all. There we go. What am I driving? Jet. Cool. Why was there no cutscene for that at all, actually? Did I just skip it instantly and not show? A weird thing. If there is no cutscene there, actually, that's just weird, because you get this whole event, this whole story mode of Team Equinox, I think they're called, barging in, saying they're the best, and yes, we're going to fight them, we're going to prove that we're the fastest on our own home turf, and then here's Jay just driving around Bay Bridge for fun, with no explanation. It's not good. Oh, it's been so long since I've driven Jet on this track. I think. It's not on the Grand Prix, I don't think. Oh dear. That was terrible. Across the pond to challenge the OG Games races. Well, get to these first. Lose all races they participate in too, yeah. No. I really hope I'm driving a car that I actually need controller for later on for B-Class, because just with controller just does not feel right to me. And I can definitely drive a Dragon Jet on a keyboard, but only the car's RX. So what am I driving on controller for? think I might have expected 7D at some point, but base 7D doesn't feature. Oh well, at least I know for future. I'm not doing terribly at the moment, at least. Oh dear. Controller used for swag, gains for keyboard. Oh. Yeah, it is weird, because Jester absolutely drives out a car that would need controller, because it's quite snappy, has massive drift angles, and very difficult to control for fine angles. But I just can't get it right. Like, with UHT, which is very much similar, just even more snappy, I can do controller just fine. And in fact, I need it because you can't play on keyboard with that car. But with Jester, for some reason, just cannot get used to it. Yeah, I'm just doing Dragon again and then Megalink. Do I drive Megalink? Do I drive Dragon on Megalink? Yeah, so RX doesn't feature at all in this story mode. There were 4 B-class cars to choose from across 5 events and you only used 3 of them. Why? What's the point in that? We even went to Snow Mountain Sprint. Why would you not use RX there? It's not good. Drive, drive, drive. RX too strong? It is, yeah. I mean, it is the best B-class car by far, obviously. We all know that. It would be unfair. But yeah, we went to Twin Glen Run as well. 2 off-road tracks and we didn't use the off-road car in either of them. Although perhaps for extra humiliation we should have used RX on Skylink. I've crashed, that was terrible. Yeah, using RX on Skylink against Bison, that would have been probably the funnier choice. Oh, and Bay Bridge even, yes. Same mind. Come on, why are the load screens so long? Yeah, it's 3 Dragon events. Ridiculous. Like, obviously I have to duplicate 1 B-class car because there's only 4 to choose from on 5 events, and Dragon does make sense for that. But not having RX at all is just silly. Cover car nepotism. Devs don't have favourites. Yeah, no favouritism here whatsoever. I do find it strange that they don't even include Soprano in the A-class story though. And they go to Moncarino at the end of it. Well, the 4th event. It's Moncarino reverse, but still. Actually, that would be more of a challenge, giving you Soprano on reverse. Excuse me. Against XX82. That would be one hell of a challenge. 51. Wow, that's a really short story mode. Okay then. It's a race, right then. It's not exactly a brilliant super drift, but I'll take it. If I didn't crash or spin out at least. And I didn't pre-bonk at all with that. Oh god. Okay, so lots of time to be saved. Do I reset at this point? It's the first lap? Nah, I'll keep going. Just keep going and find out. If I end up spinning out at some point in this race, then I will reset, but... Now let's just see what I can do. I mean, it's not as though there's a particularly difficult time to beat. Can't remember what time Paxson had set, but it'll be several minutes off the pace at least. Right, now remember to pre-bonk. Oh, not like that though, you numpty. This is going terribly. You're meant to super drift into the tunnel, aren't you? That's why I'm struggling with that. Helio just started a 3-lap Soprano marathon? Oh god. I mean, he's going to get all the records very easily because I set them all with impulse. Just out of pity for the few people who had done 3 laps, I suppose. So the records are very easy to beat. If some of the shorter tracks would be faster with Raptor though, like Forest. Because with 3 laps you have to start in race mode, or not in race mode, wait, do you? No, it's not in race mode, it's in time attack. Ah, never mind then. I thought you had to do it from a standing start, but no you don't. If we did do it in race mode and it was a standing start, then Raptor would probably be better on Precipice and Forest, and probably SLB as well. Due to its off-the-line acceleration, counteracting the lack of time overall on a single lap. But we don't do it in race mode, we do it in time attack, so Soprano's just going to win everything. Rest in peace, my records. I think it's 18 of them. Very bold to end SSC with 4 straight chicanes, just a thought. Oh, I need to pause this, don't I? Yeah. Get me out of here. It's certainly a design choice. Now, I'm not complaining with the bonking, and with Raptor as well, actually it's quite good. Soprano though? Hell no. definitely meant to super drift that, but I'm bad with 70 super. So I'm just gonna, oh no, bump my way through as best as I can. Yeah, sure, that works. Okay, so driven Chrono, Raptor, 70 Super and Gladio. And I think it's Chrono for the final event. Yeah, it is, because I remember you do the opposite on Grand Prix. So, again, some cars that were just not included, and it's the cover car that gets duplicated. Don't know why. Just an odd decision. I'm getting this better with Gladio without even trying. That's encouraging. It's a very strange braking method you got to employ with this car. Cowards give you causeway impulse. Yeah, that's a cruel combination. Well, impulse on any of the DLC tracks, really. Actually, impulse on this track would probably be worse with all the bonking you got to do. And the hairpins. And the collision bugs. And the water. And for everything, really. Turn in, come on, Chrono. Turn. There we go. That's probably optimal, right? No. You definitely bonk that though, I know that much. Oh god. quite the super that I wanted there. Come on. Ouch. That's better, yeah. Slam into the inside wall before the water to get you that tighter line. Might be driving slower, but the shorter distance is definitely worth it. Oh yeah, I try to read. Right before a super drift, the Equinox lads get to beat somebody, it's a win-win. And there's a message before that, I can't read. Hold on a second, I'll get that after this event. Every time I think I can read something, another turner jumps up on me. Can I get a 119 at the end of here? That would be nice. That's a better turn. Yeah, that feels good, but just so slow going up this hill. I think you probably want to bonk that second one, actually. That's a super drift into a pre-bonk into a bonk. That's a horrid combination. Especially with these tight roads. Alright, 12:23. That's decent. Right, so get the impulse driver to shove Viv out the way and say, now it's my turn, and if you lose you get a driver's Viv. Alright then, roughly 50 minutes I'm estimating. Probably a little bit more, but 20 events in one go, going through most of the cars in the game. Go. And I've immediately gone wide. Of course I have. Sure. Just go with it. I've only been streaming for an hour. Wow. Thought it would have taken longer to get through the first 4 stories. So if it's an hour, yeah, it'll probably be about 50 minutes then to get all 4 characters. Let's try not to get caught on these railings again and go deep apparently. Good. Bad. quite an awful run to be honest, but I'm not really bothered by single lap performance. Get me through. Always just a fun car when you're chilling out, not really grinding for records. Realised my chair's leant too far back and I can't adjust it at all because I'm using a controller. That's fun. Try and find some straight at some point where I can let go of the steering and adjust my chair. Because my back will die otherwise. It's rather mind-numbing. Yeah, got my chair adjusted. That's better. It's rather mind-numbing, these C-Class cars. there's not much going on. Oh dear, that was just awful. Turn, Bubba, turn. Oh, that's about the worst start I could have had to that. Really is dreary at this point. Just my brain going on autopilot during this whole thing. Evidently, I am now making mistakes. No. Missed the pre-bonk entirely. Finally. Come on. Right. Now that's over. 3 laps of causeway in dart. Yay. These slower cars are fun on single lap when you're against a ghost competing for hundreds, but just on their own, doing 3 laps of a track, they are mind-numbing. Just such dreary experiences. We always do 3 lap lakeside. Yeah, that was bad. Luckily though, I didn't have to do them in dart or boulder at all. I was forced to use faster cars to get the records, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Come on. Well, and now I've got 3 laps of lakeside. The fun never ends. Now it can't be worse. Yeah, pretty much. I don't think we visit Lakeside at all after this. Let's just check. No, we don't. At least it's Traverse, and at least it's Katana. So there's some modicum of happiness there. But god, the first 5 events of this are dull. So what's Katana's thing? It's a Skylink duel. So even when you have a faster car, it doesn't last for anywhere near as long as the other 4. suppose it is better this way around though, having all the boring stuff right at the beginning and the exciting stuff later on, instead of just being bored into mistakes halfway through a run. Just gotta force yourself to stay awake for the first bit, and then later on the excitement comes naturally. Let you hold on. Get through this bit. Have to do this category in this order, right? You don't have to. I don't think. I'm fairly sure I didn't write that into the rules. You can do it any way you want. Just as long as you complete all the events in one run. So theoretically, although it would be massively slower, you could do one event in Lex's story, then immediately switch to one event in Brooke's story. You would never do that because you'd lose so much time in the menus, but you could. So if you wanted to do Brooke's story first, and then Kyle's and Lex's and Ahmed's, I'm fairly sure I'm mispronouncing that, but I'm just going to go with it. You can do that if you want. I'm just doing it this way around because it's easier for the menus to do them all in order instead of remembering which ones you've done and entering the correct one later on. Because it doesn't actually make a difference in terms of the event times, because it's the same events all the time. You've got to complete them anyways, so do them in whichever order you want, but from slowest to fastest I find the easiest. Plus it's a more exciting spectacle because we're progressively getting faster and faster as the run goes on. More chance to fail, more tension building. As you can tell with my voice. But yeah, I just find this order better for me. If somebody else wanted to do fastest to slowest or some other order, they absolutely could do that. So, I don't think I wrote it into the rules, but I probably should. I think it would probably be best to enforce a story order rule. Like if you're doing one story, you should do that story in order. Maybe. It depends what other people feel about that. Because there is no like actual story progression thing like the base game. It's just 5 separate events that you enter. So there's no way to force you to do each event in order. But with this being a story mode category, it would probably make sense to do those events in order. But yeah, I'm not really sure that makes much of a difference anyways, so I'll probably just leave it as it is now. Oh dear, that was bad, did not drift enough. Yeah, I'll probably just leave it as it is to allow you to do every event, whichever order you want. God, this is a terrible lap. God, yeah, 2 seconds off the world record. 2.5. Yeah. Oh dear. Probably not run this, but if there would be free running, I'd go Ahmed first to get rid of the hard A-class cars first. Yeah. That's perfectly fine. Getting something out of the week you're not as confident with, and then leaving the rest of the run to be easier. So if you do feel there's less time wasted, absolutely. Personally, I'm more than confident enough with my own skills with every car that I can just run this however I want. So even though I'm not brilliant with a lot of the A-class cars, I'm still confident enough that I won't just crash and die at any point. And some people find B-class to be the hardest as well, so maybe I could do that first instead. So just notice, I think this is the only time in all of these story modes where you have the same car back to back. Wait, do you have Dragon back to back? I think you do. No, okay, never mind then, I'm talking rubbish. Don't crash, please. Never mind. Just crash, sure. Whatever. Doing quite poorly with bullets on this run. Someone's burning something outside my house. Either it's the neighbour with the wood-burning stove, or just some teenagers burning tyres for fun. Either or. God, yes, it's a terrible run. All the way around here before the dual ends. Just a bit of banter? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it is winter, it's very possible it's one of my neighbours with their stoves, but still, finding random things just burning locally, it's not an uncommon occurrence. And now to the faster stuff. Halfway through. And just under half an hour. Well, this is a quick run, so... That wasn't good, but at least we know this duel is easy. That was a better chicane than the last two attempts. Yeah, there is just no cutscene here. Alright then. Jay just decides to drive around Bay Bridge for no apparent reason. Ouch. What is Bison? It's not even in my rear view mirror. Why is this story mode so much easier than the other two? Or is it because it's a ghost time? It is just a ghost we're against, not rubber-banding AI. So it's just a typical flaxen, really poor driving ghost that we're against instead of something attempting to be difficult. That's probably it. Yeah, it has to be actually, because the ghost has to be driving at 158.12. So, yeah, no wonder. This is going to be a sub 50. I can't remember what snow does to Jester, so I'm just going to avoid it as much as I can. It might increase the drift angle, but it also might cut it in half, so I'll just drive around it instead. Nope, that was too early and too much. Yeah, that was better than we did last time. Around that corner. I'm just trying to remember how Waffle drives Dragon, because that really is beautiful to watch with how he drives it. Very clean version of Dragon, not the horrendous bonk-filled mess that I have. With certain tracks my approach is better, but on others, like this and on Twin Glen, it's very difficult to do, but it's way faster and way better to look at as well. Final B-class event. Why doesn't Bison fully drift ever with these things? It's just a half drift all the time. Oh dear. Misjudged that quite a bit. Final story mode. Alright then. Let's try not to completely ruin Chrono this time around. I think you are meant to super drift this corner into the tunnel when you're driving at full speed. But the risk of me overdoing it, hitting the snow and spinning out is too great. Especially after I've been driving for 40 minutes, so I'll avoid that one. bit heavy with the bonks there, but still gets me through, so it's better than what I had before. Oh, my finger's going numb now. I'm gonna have to stop this. Well, no, not gonna have to stop this. I hope I get to the end before I lose feeling. That is not at all optimal, but oh dear. I'm just going to go with it because I can't remember where I meant to extend the super drifts, where I meant to just do multiple in a row. Like here, for example, I think you are meant to extend the drift around that double apex. But, well, for one, it's risky, because you mess it up, you hit the wall and lose all your time. And it also is at most half a second. Oh, come on. Oh God, you definitely super drift to that in some capacity. But I can't. Come on, let's do this. Oh dear. This car does not like to bonk at all. But it has to. In some cases, it has to. Oh, my fingers are slipping everywhere. Oh dear. Definitely messing up here. Making unnecessary mistakes. Come on, focus. Just about across into 46 minutes. 3 laps of serpentine is about 4 minutes. Then I've got this duel as well. So my prediction is about a 52-minute run. fact, that might be the goal to go for sub 52. Because we're not going to be driving half of Carino here. Oh no. Oh god. Get out of this. Out of the sand, please. I wish I could read and drive at the same time, but I need to fully focus on these last couple of events. So I'll get to that after this. Okay. One final event. 47.40 as we start here. 1 minute 20 per lap. 3 minutes, 4 minutes, but standing starts longer. I think we'll just be over 52 minutes actually. I shall try my best nonetheless. Yeah, it's going to be tough, oh, especially if I do that. Come on, focus. Water section's going to kill me. No, I've killed it now, definitely. Well, that water section was good, but got a minute left, 50 seconds. And I don't think I'm going to do it. It's going to be tight. 20 seconds, come on, come on. It's possible. Come on, come on, come on, come on. 51, 51. I did not think I was going to get that. Not one bit. But there you go. Thought for sure I was doing 52 like 03, but no, I'll take that.